Hello, beautiful people, balanced beings. So, if you can't tell, I kind of want to talk about love today, as it is the season. Of course, in my life, it is always the season of love. But in February, we get the extra added bonus of having Valentine's Day roll around again. And it may be a bonus for some people, but I know that for others, it can be kind of a triggering holiday, especially if you're living in a body and a mind which feels or has felt that it's always been unlucky in love. I have definitely been that woman before, so I understand if you're feeling that way right now, seeing the hearts and the happiness and the commercial and the rings and all that stuff can be not sitting very well with you right now. And I totally understand that. So I wanted to, of course, talk about love today and offer you the option, the suggestion maybe, to slide on in there and give yourself some of that love today or any day. So we don't always have to wait for someone else in order to receive or feel love in our lives. You can start with you, right? If this is the season of love, if you want some chocolate, if you want a ring, if you want to go out on a date, hey, wine and dine yourself, my love. Like, you deserve it. And if there is no one around who is recognizing what you deserve right now, it doesn't make it not true. It doesn't mean you don't deserve those things because you're not getting them. You can give them to yourself if no one else is recognizing just how bomb you actually are in this moment. So that's one point. Give yourself that. Take yourself out. Buy yourself something nice. Get dressed all nice up and pretty just for you, because you deserve it, and you deserve to feel that love in your body and all around you and through you. That's one point. Second point is, what I have learned through my own personal journey with love and relationships is, when we are in a space where we can, be vulnerable with ourselves, because, talk about being vulnerable with another person. Sometimes it's hard to just be vulnerable with this person, like looking right at you, So if we can get into a space where we can be vulnerable to ourselves and like give ourselves that love, that, that tough love that we talk about when things aren't going so well, and maybe when you're not behaving in the light that you want to behave, giving yourself that talking to, like, hey, pull it together, I'm better than this. That's a form of love too. And also the warm fuzzy stuff that we identify with being love. If we can give that to ourselves, then we're more open and willing to accept that from another person. So I was always in a space where I really desperately wanted love and to be in love and to feel that love, but in the same token, or in the same hand, I never even experienced any of those things. So I didn't know what they looked like, what they were supposed to present as. I just knew that I really, really, really wanted it. And so what would happen is, when I would get into those spaces where now I realized, like, oh, this person was really trying with me, but because I didn't understand what it was, I shunned it all. Like, I realized what was being extended to me. So for example, short story, I dated a guy once who was very courteous. He was very attentive. He liked to go out on dates, take me out. So he mentioned to me after one of these dates how he just noticed that I never said thank you to him after those dates. And me being me at the time, I was just like, well, obviously I'm appreciative that you take me out. Like, I'm sorry if I don't say thank you all the time. I didn't know that you needed to hear a thank you all the time. Like, this is me literally saying all these things. I didn't know you needed a thank you all the time. Like, obviously I'm grateful I show up to the date when you take me out. So obviously I appreciate that. So I'm doing all of those things aside from just being like, you know what, I'm so sorry, thank you. So here I was in a situation where I had a man literally whining and dining me, and all he wanted from me was just the acknowledgement, like, that I appreciate the fact that you do this. Because one thing I've also learned is, it doesn't matter if you've been in a relationship with someone for 5 years, 5 minutes, 5 months, 5 decades. Nobody has to do anything for you on this beautiful planet. Nobody is obligated to do a single thing for you. Anything that someone does for you we should be appreciative of, because we're all dealing with a lot of things in this life, in these minds, and we don't have to extend ourselves any further than we already do. So whenever somebody does that for you, thank them, appreciate them. And I did not realize that that was a form of love, a form of showing affection back then. And so I honestly mishandled that. So now, having that understanding, I'm better able to handle my love now with my husband. Fast forward, now I have a husband who is just as attentive, if not more so, and we're together, all the time. He's always doing things for me, and it doesn't matter if he picks a piece of paper up off the floor that he dropped. I will say, hey, thank you for doing that, because he didn't have to. So that's just being able to understand that when we can experience things, even when it's just giving it to ourselves, that helps us better move in the world. So I am encouraging us all out there, if you're feeling like, oh, for Valentine's Day, feel that, let it rise, let it fall, and then repurpose it and turn that into some productive energy where you are out there trying to figure out the ways in which you actually want to be loved, and then try to give that to yourself. Experience that. You may find that you don't want to be loved that way, and then you need to figure out something else about the things you like, about the things you want in a relationship, navigating, discovering yourself, so that you can better, when the time comes, if that's something that you want, be able to handle that beautiful thing called love that you get when it comes around. Because if you don't have it, you will.